Hello, hello. Good afternoon to all my Facebook friends. How are y'all doing? This is Rosie the Quilter, and I'm waiting for at least one person to join me so that they will hear me say hello. Okay. Hello. How are you? This is Rosie the Quilter, and I'd like to welcome you to my first Facebook Live show. And I'll introduce a little bit more about myself as more people come in, but that won't stop me from talking. You'll see, I'm a chatterbox. So again, thank you for joining my show. I'm Rosie the Quilter. I see. Oh, hi, Sonia. How are you doing? Where are you calling from, Sonia? So that's one of the questions that I'd like to know. Where are you all watching me from? Because I have a shop on Etsy and I sell my quilts from all over the country: Texas, California, Florida. Um, and it would be interesting to know if any of my friends from California or Texas are able to join me today. In other words, they'd rather watch this than football. Yay! So, so let's get started. My name is Rosie Greenaway, and I'm a quilter for almost 20 years now. And I've been mostly quilting prayer quilts. So if you've heard of Prayer Quilts by Rosie, that's me. And that's one facet, very important part of my life. But the other facet of my life is the fact that I have a great pride in my African American, Afro Caribbean um, heritage. And so let me tell you a little bit about why Wakanda quilts. So for a long time, I was doing prayer quilts, and I do some African quilts thrown in along there. But after watching Black Panther, I just had an overwhelming sense of passion and pride in the work that I did, and it just gave me a new emphasis in how I should focus my work to to show my pride and pay tribute to those Black heroines and heroes that have lifted our people up through the centuries. So that's where Wakanda Quilts came from. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? And so you know, I will be saying hello to people as they come in. Um, no offense. So one of the things that I decided to focus on was two collections: Women of Substance, where I would celebrate the Black women of history and icons of Black beauty, and such as Cleopatra, Nefertiti, and other Black princesses, but also leaders, achievers, and dreamers. And in that collection, I honor those men and women of Black American culture, such as Malcolm X, Mary McLeod Bethune, Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman, Michelle and Barack Obama, uh, Frederick Douglass, and a dozen more people, and I honor them through their words of inspiration that have been passed down. Oh, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Hi there, Catsy. What's it? Catsy. Oh, hi, Catsy. Glad you're able to come. So, you know, what makes my work unique? Two things, really. Well, actually, three things. The fabric choices, in that I use a fabric called batik. So if you've looked at my quilts behind me and said, wow, they're so bright, that's the batik fabric. It's a particularly bright fabric, and I love to use that in combination with ethnic fabrics. And see, together, they create a unique work of art. The third thing that makes my work unique is that no two pieces are alike. I make a real effort that if you order one quilt that's might highlight the words of Harriet Tubman, that quilt will be different and be unique on its own to somebody else's. So there's no cookie cutter with the work I do. Each person has a unique work of art. Oh, Cats is gonna try and start a watch party. Great. Um, Thank you. I am not a very technical person. What I'm technical when it comes to my work, but when it comes to this technology, I stand back and let others. So, uh, if you have any questions to ask, oh, let me just tell you, if as I told you, I have an Etsy shop called Wakanda Quilts. Now there is a link to that, so that if you see anything here that you like, remember they're all unique, so it's just one of kind, and you'd like to have it, you could go right through that link to where I have those quilts, all on one page, and you can purchase it through Etsy. Um, if you're a Cash App type person or you use Venmo or Zelle, then send me a private message so that I could be sure to pull that quilt for you. And and then you can do it through that technique. Okay, because those three are not done through Etsy. Okay, so I guess you're wanting to get on with the show. Come on, right? Okay, so let me just give you a couple words about the quilts behind me, and then I'll go into the other quilts. So, number one is Comfort of the Psalms. That's the quilt right behind me here over my shoulder. And again, that's one of the quilts where I'm getting my spiritual life and my cultural life together. So in this quilt, there will be 12 uh, different verses from Psalms, all very well known, well loved verses. And at the top, you see there, it is uh, embroidered with Comfort of the Psalms. This is a large quilt. I had to fold it up a couple times to get it on here. It's about 50 inches by 60 inches. So unless you're a basketball player, this is gonna be a really nice throw for either your couch or on your bed and your easy chair. And that quilt is $250. Now, the quilt directly behind me, my lady is my Queen of Africa, and she's one of my Women of Substance quilts. And let me see if I could get a little closer to you so you can see it. So this particular Queen of Africa is 31 by 34 inches. That's a good size, as you see. And in the corner of each corner, you have an embroidery of an adinkra symbol. And if you are not familiar with adinkra symbols, they are from Western Africa, and each of them has a separate meaning. In this case, the meanings on her quilt are perseverance, the power of love down here, endurance, which is like a tree, endures. And then uh, up at the top there is strength. So now, and then the last quilt I call my dancing, my women who are dancing in exultation. And that quilt is approximately, um, let me just look to my list, sorry. I should have these things all in my mind. Is 30 inches by 55 inches. Okay. And this quilt is covered with lovely quilting stitching. So in each of these different colors, there are different leaves that I've stitched out in each one. Now, the other, oh, let me just check my things and see if there's anything sent here. Um, Hi, Shirley from Tampa. How you doing? Thank you, Susan. So, you think those are beautiful? Stand back. Now, I'll be standing or sitting up and down, so please bear with me. I want you to see every detail. So, this quilt is a quilt with the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father prayer. And as you can see, this quilt is approximately 26 inches by 32 inches. 32 inches is just shy of 3 feet long. Okay, so that's a very good size. Oh, and by the way, you might be wondering, how am I going to hang this? Everybody gets a quilt with little hanging hooks that you can attach to the quilt when you get it home, and then hang it up from there in any room you want. I like to use the little command hooks so I don't have to learn how to drive a nail. Makes it easy for me. But anyway, so this is the Lord's Prayer. Now, this quilt, I call this Mother and Baby, because as you can see, she has the baby in one of those nice little holders that sling around the back so that she can carry on with the daily work and still keep the baby close. And this quilt is unique um, rendering. It's approximately 23 inches by 23 inches and can be yours for only $45. Okay. Now, this one, you'll see, I love color. I am not afraid of color. So, this one, I call this Mother and Child, and a white ball, or could it be a moon? Could be. I have That's one of the reasons why I bordered it with this lovely blue fabric. It almost looks like um, dark uh, on a moonlit night. Okay, and this is number 6. So when you go to my Etsy page, you could look for the quilt that is numbered number 6. That will correspond to this quilt. So if you like number 6, write it down, and then you'll have a reference to go back to if you don't quite remember what color it was or what it looked like. You could use the numbers that are right here. So this is number 7, and going on a theme here, looks like Mama has added another baby to her family. So this is Mother with Children. Honestly, if you Mother with Children, that's how it's also listed on my Etsy page. So number 7 is Mother with Children. I have a lovely border here in orangey red and lime green, and some lovely stitching all around here to make it beautiful. That collection is part of what I call my family and village life. So here's another piece in that family and village life collection. This is a beaut. How would you like this one in your home? This is number 8. And I just call this two women chatting or two sisters chatting on the way from the market. Not too long because sometimes those vases can be heavy. Again, this is a lovely border in reddish orange, um, blue with green, and then uh, the lovely uh, art of their headdresses and dresses. Oh, and this is $85. And the size for this one is 32 by 34 inches. Again, almost 3 feet. Very good size. Now, this one, I call this one my dancers and drummers. And this is a biggie. This is number 9. And this quilt is 39 by 48 inches. And I'm going to have to hold this up over my head. But as you can see, it is a gorgeous quilt. This fabric is no longer available anywhere, but I I love the fabric that I was able to use to emphasize those those women who are just exulting in their dance. Again, this is number 9, and this one is 175, approximately 39 inches wide by 48 inches. Oh, let me take a look. What? Nobody wants to say anything? Okay. Oh, Susan, I have a great eye for fabrics. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I I'm I've really studied what colors work together, so that especially when I'm dealing with such bright and vibrant colors, you have to be able to make those work together. So, uh, any other questions? Let me go on because I'm going to go on now to my women of substance. Excuse me. So, like my women of substance, um, made up are, well, let me just show you. So, this one is number 10, and she's my first African princess. As you see, I have 12 diamonds in different colors of blue and aqua and purple. I use yellow and red to set off the diamonds. And as you can see, the blue picks up from her dress. Now, she's a woman who knows how to put on some really beautiful makeup. And the size of this quilt is approximately 31 inches by 34 inches. Again, just shy of 3 feet long. And this is 155. And you can't really see it, but uh, I did stitching all around throughout in matching colors so that it wouldn't stand out, but you would have the feeling of texture as you um, ran your finger around it. Now, this one, number 11, is one of my first queens, Queen Nefertiti. And as you might remember, Nefertiti is an Egyptian queen. That's why she's wearing that distinctive blue and gold headdress. And and so I carried the blue into the border. Again, 12 large size diamonds surround her and frame out her portrait. This is number 11. Okay. And all of my women of substance are 155. So when you go to my page, they'll be easy to find. Now, how could you talk about Black queens, African queens, and not think of Cleopatra? So Cleopatra is represented here. And here I use green. Let me get a little closer to you. Green and aqua blue and the royal blue and of course gold. And the little dress that she's wearing here also has a little snake entwined there. So if you know the story of Cleopatra um, and the snake, that makes sense. Okay, but one more princess to go. Wait until you see this one. I just had to work it the way I did. How do you like this princess? My pink and green princess. So, I do have some friends who belong to a certain sorority who think they are princesses. Well, for the princess in your life, how about this one? Beautiful. Again, all these ladies know how to do their makeup, and her eyes and her face are just stunning. And the pink, the dark red, and the green just bring out um, her coloring so much. Again, this one is approximately 31 by 34 inches. My pink and green queen. Oh, well, I'm just going to sit for a second and sorry, sorry to show you my back. But now I'm getting to a part of my collection that I call my leaders, achievers, and dreamers. And this collection came up directly in response to um, the Black Panther um, Pride movement. Uh, because a lot of people do quilts such as you've seen here, but no one else does quilts that bring together the inspiring words of the leaders that have gone before and some that are still with us. They're inspiring words that have led us to take to the streets, to go and do things that you would have never thought that we would do before. My Leaders, Achievers, and Dreamers collection pays honor to those people. And one of the women that it pays honor to is Harriet Tubman. If you didn't know this. This is her 200th anniversary of her birth, 2020. So this is my tribute to Harriet Tubman. It has her words: every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. And that is exactly what Harriet did. She changed the world for herself and for the dozens of people that she risked her life to rescue from slavery, and the hundreds and thousands more that she saved through her life and the work that she did. So this quilt has her statement, and around the quilt you see um, women in I guess you would call African dress, paying homage to her. Again, this is a unique collection, and this is $85. This size for Harriet is 22 inches wide by 31 inches long. Okay, and this is Harriet Tubman. Now, lest you think I only do women, I do recognize the contribution of the men. And here is Martin Luther King. And Martin has his quote, and this is a quote that you may not be as familiar: change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. And as you see there, I bordered this with the red, yellow, and green and black colors, and the continent of Africa all around it. But I do have to come back to my women. I am very proud of the women. So here you go. This is let me bring that a little closer to you so you can see the colors. But this is Maya Angelou, and she again is bordered in the Africa fabric, and burgundy and a dark green. And her words are: bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And I just love those words. I've probably done more Maya Angelou's than any other of my leaders, achievers, and dreamers, just because her words are just so significant and so inspiring that I had to do it twice. So I have it there in the Africa, and then I also did it with Adinkra symbols. Now, this particular symbol that you see here is a symbol that means the supremacy of God. So if that is a a an idea that you would like in one piece, one work of art, here you have it. The words of Maya Angelou and the symbol that means the supremacy of God. This is number uh, 17. Number 17. Hi, Dawn. So glad you're able to make it. So I don't. I have a couple more to go through, and then what I'm going to do is go right quickly through it so that you see a quick view of all of them, and then if you have any more questions, we could discuss. Okay. Now this one is Barack Obama, and as you can see, it's a lovely green and dark brown in this quilt. And again, with this one, this is another quote of his that you may not be as familiar with. The future rewards those who press on. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. And that's from our former president, but for me, always president, Barack Obama. Now, you know I can't have Barack Obama and leave out Michelle. So here's a quote from Michelle. This one is number 19, and this is the last of my quilts for today. And in this quilt, you see I have different types of African fabrics in the border here, and it just looks like a montage of, of lovely brown and dark red colors. And what Michelle says, you can't make decisions based on fear and the possibility of what might happen. And that's true. You cannot make decisions based on fear and what might happen. You've got to go further. So this one is Michelle's. And if you want, you could try and get them both. Boom, boom. Michelle and Barack. So let's see. Let me look at my inbox and see if there's anything there. Hi, Kelly. Okay. Oh, Dawn. Dawn says all of these are absolutely gorgeous. You know, Dawn, you are way, way, way so kind. Thank you. And I'm going to go through this again. No, no chatter. The important thing is I'm going to give you the number and give you the price. If you do have any particular quilt that you'd like me to go back to, just type in the number so that I could pull that out and make sure that I give you an extra long look at that. Okay? How about that? Oh, by the way, I do have other quilts, but I don't want to um, take advantage of your time. Hi, I see I have a friend from Kentucky. Thank you, Benita. Ah, Benita, you got here just in time. Now, I'm going to go right back and go from the backwards forwards. This is number 19, Michelle Obama, and this is part of my Leaders, Achievers, and Dreamers. And Michelle is $75. Barack is also 75, and his number is number 18. Maya Angelou, as you can see, Maya Angelou is bigger than the standard size. I did that to accommodate the pattern of the Adinkra symbols. And again, that symbol means the supremacy of God. And this number is number 17. Maya Angelou is number 16. Martin Luther King is number 15. As you can see, that has the map of Africa around. Harriet Tubman, my favorite. is number 14, and this one is $85 as well. Now, number 13 is my pink and green princess. Okay, this is from my Women of Substance uh, collection. Number 12 is Queen Cleopatra. Number 11 is Queen Nefertiti or Nefertiti. I like to say Tiri for obvious reasons. I'm kind of modest that way. I'm one of those people, I'll say something that sounds like something and I'll just start laughing. So, Nefertiti. Here's my Caribbean. I like to call this my Caribbean princess rather than African princess because I just love the colors so much. Okay. And this one was number 10. Number 10. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay. Now, number 9. You know, before I go on, I noticed there are a few more people on the view than there were a couple minutes ago. And I just want to say hello to those who have joined since I started. Thank you for coming. And if you miss anything, just write in the comments if there's a number that you'd like me to pull out for you so that you could get a second look. Okay? But thank you so much for joining us. Number 9 is, I got to stand for this one. This one is my da- dancers and drummers. And as you see, this is a beautiful quilt that would be really great over the fireplace or on over the sofa, you know, instead of the mirror, take down that mirror, put this one up and see how beautiful that will make your living room. Hi, Veronica. Oh, you're just coming on. That's great. So glad that you arrived. Well, I'm getting into my family and village life quilts. And if there's anything that you want me to go back to, just type it in there. I'll be happy to. So, village life. Here are my two friends chatting. And this is number 8. Number 8. Two women chatting. And this quilt is approximately 31 by 34 inches, almost 3 feet long. Now, these next 3 quilts are all part of you could buy them as a set or get them individually, but they kind of like go together. Now, this one I call African Mother and Her Children. And you see the mother is lifting one of her little ones high. And in the background, you see the sun reflected and the other child standing below. So this one is number 7. Number 6 is African mother with only one child this time, and you see the rising of the moon in the uh, background there. I just love this particular quilt, and that's why I use this particular fabric, which has the dark blue and a lighter blue and some green and purple in there to give it life. This one is number 6. Now this one, I call this one Mother and Baby. And as you see here, she has one of those nice little harnesses so that she could carry her baby on her from her back or her side so that she can go about the daily activities. The reason why I say that these quilts can go together is that if you look at the way I read them off, mother and baby, mother and child, mother and children. So she has the one in the second one, that first child is now big enough to stand, but the other one is still has to be held. And or one is held, and then by the time you get to the third one, the other one is the eldest one is big enough to stand while the other one has to be held. So it's a progression of family life. Let me just see anything. Oh, I have one question here from Brenda. Do I create the panels? Not in this particular case. No, I do not. These were panels made from a an artist who licensed her her artwork to be translated into fabric, and that was done many years ago. So this particular panel is rarer than rare. I cannot find this panel anywhere. So um, like I did with another one of my features, I call it Two Mothers. That was Keith Mallet, and you will see that on my site. Um, those fabrics are out of print now. So these were things that I've gathered over the years, and um, when when I was ready to translate them into something beautiful as a work of art. So unfortunately, the panels are no longer available except in my artwork. And number 4 is the Lord's Prayer, and it's on black Kona fabric and gold lettering. Very simple, not very printed almost. So no cursive or curlicues, just a simple prayer on the black. And but since I do love color, I have this bright orange tinge with blue and red in there along with green. And that one is number 4. Number 3, and I'm going to sit down so you can see better behind me. Number 3 is my uh, dancing dancing ladies. To me, they're dancing in exaltation. Um, when you go to the site and you could really zero in, you'll see that many of them have their hands raised in exaltation. Number 2, of course, is my Queen of Africa. And in each corner of this particular quilt are the Adinkra symbols that stand for endurance, strength, the power of love, and perseverance. Okay, and each of those are embroidered into um, into the fabric. And then the last one is my Comfort of the Psalms, and that's harkening back to my foundational um, quilting, the, the foundation for my quilting, which is in prayer quilts and inspirational quilts. Now, this quilt has 12 um, settings of verses from various Psalms, such as taste and see that the Lord is good. The heavens declare the glory of God. To you, O Lord, I lift my soul, and a whole lot more. As you see, I had to fold this up in order to get it to fit on this. This is 50 inches by 60 inches, and the titling "Comfort of the Psalms" is a embroidery. So this is a great quilt that uh, will comfort you on those nights when you want to just maybe read a book and or enjoy a movie. Okay, let me just take a look at my feed here. See if I'm missing anything. Brenda has complimented me on a job well done. Thank you, Brenda. Now, um, I have gone through all my things. Let me just tell you what to expect if you do order one of my quilts. So, oops, daisy. Sorry for that. If you order one of the larger quilts here, it will come. I only ship by uh, by priority mail. I want to make sure I could track that thing and make sure that you get your package and delivered um, when it's supposed to be. But not only that, especially like, for example, if you get the Comfort of the Psalms or one of the larger ones, I put them in a large vinyl carrying case so that you could actually carry it. You could give it as a gift in that case. If it's one of the smaller ones, I fold it up nicely. I pack it with one of my uh, business cards. Well, actually, it's a large envelope size card with my contact information. And also, I wrap it in several layers of tissue paper so that it's protected from the elements. Though those priority boxes are quite strong. Um, let's see. Any other? Oh, Zanola asked a big question. Well, Zanola, each of my quilts have a different price. I've been trying to read them off as I go through them, but generally, um, the quilts that are with the queens or princesses were 155. My leaders and achievers quilts, the ones with Barack Obama or Harriet Tubman, were 75 or $85 depending on the size. Um, the littler ones were like $45. Now, where you will see all of this is on my Etsy page. The link is there, but if you don't see the link, it's etsy.com shop Wakanda Quilts. Or you could just go to etsy.com and type in Wakanda Quilts. And if it says, do you mean the shop with the name Wakanda Quilts? That's me. So you click on that and you will find me. And then you'll see all the quilts. If you want to see these in particular, I have them in a section called Facebook Quilt Show. So you could just click on that and see the one that you like. Oh, you'd like to see the backs of my quilts. Anyone in particular? Let's see. Um, because some of them I use nice fabric. I put on the binding by machine, not by hand. Some of them you can see the stitching. Try not to, I try to get fabrics where it's not going to show up too much on the back. Let's see. Oh, this one you might be able to see more. Okay. You can see a little bit of the machine quilting I do on them. Is that what you had in mind, Zanola? Oh, you're interested in number two and number three. Okay, so let me pull those out for you. No, number two and number three. Those are these. Okay. So you see with this one here, this is the Queen of Africa. I've done stitching around. Oops, daisy. I've done stitching around and also in, maybe you might see it also here. Is that what you had in mind? Oh, okay. All righty. And then on this one here, oh, you can probably see it very well on this one. I've done a lot of quilting on this one. I just didn't know when to stop on this one. I really enjoyed working on this one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Was it Cassandra made a comment about the machine quilting? All righty. Um, let's see. Okay, so folks, um, I've been on for almost an hour now. And like I said, there are still a few other things um, that I could show you. You know, one I'd like to show you is not necessarily part of the show, but I did this a couple of, about a year ago. Take a look. You've been so nice. Here's an extra. How do you like this one? This one is all of these red, blue, orange, purple. And here's the machine quilting I did on the back of this one. It's a lovely little wall hanging. I just want to show you that one because I really enjoyed working on that. As you can see, I love quilting. Well, thank you for your attention. And I, mm, I have one more that you might want to look at, but it's actually animals. African animals. So if you'd like to take a look at that, show me a little love there, and I'll pull that one out for you to look at too. Anybody up for lions, tigers, and bears? Okay, I'm gonna do it because I have no willpower. This is my lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. And you'll find this on my Etsy shop as well. I Yes, those are all half square triangles all around it. For those of you who are quilters, that was a mastery of mathematics to get that to work out. Okay, well, thank you, and thank you, and thank you so much. Um, if you haven't had, if you missed part of this, I am going to have it available on my Facebook page for at least a week or so, and I'll leave the corresponding quilts in my Etsy page up so that the numbers, you'll be able to track it with the numbers. And I will, and then, if you do see something and you'd like me to make something for you, because I do custom quilts. I've done quite a bit of them actually, and I also do t-shirt quilts. So I say that as part of the memorial quilts that I've done. So some of my memorials include photos, include scripture, or it includes clothing like ties or t-shirts or good old dress shirts. I've done them all. So let me say one big thank you to all my Facebook friends who have joined me. Uh, I hate to say goodbye because so many of you are still there, but I recognize that it's Sunday afternoon and you might need to do other things than shop. Oh my gosh, how about that? Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my page on Facebook is Wakanda Quilts, and my Etsy shop is also called Wakanda Quilts. If your interests also tend to the spiritual and Christian spirituality, check out my other shop, Prayer Quilts by Rosie, and you'll see a whole other side of me and a very important side of me, but again, different side of me. Um, I guess that's about it for now. Uh, thank you so much again. Oh, wait. Um, in answer to your question, Zanola, no, I do not. Oh, but where are you calling? Where are you watching from? I'm in Maryland. There might be someone closer to you that you might try. Try your local quilt shop, and they may have a person who could help you. All right. Well, thank you so much for your patience and your kind compliments. This is Rosie the Quilter, and oh, you're in Tennessee, and I am going to sign off for now. But again, the tape will be ready for you. Just give it Facebook a few minutes to get it processed, and it should be up in about 15 minutes or so. And for those of you who missed the beginning, when I was going through some of this, you could watch it again. Thank you. And be well, be safe, and God bless.